Hey guys, what is going on? Joel here, and welcome to Back in the Day. Today's video is one that I would say would be more or less kind of a response. My good buddy Sean from Retro Reminiscence, he put a video out a couple of weeks ago. It was about like his top 5 most like favorite snack foods to eat while gaming, and I mean obviously like any more like snacking and gaming or go hand in hand together. I will admit, when I was a kid, like there wasn't really a whole lot of snacking going on when I was gaming. My parents, growing up, like they didn't have a lot of snacky type foods in the house. We didn't buy chips, we didn't buy soda. It was like a rarity when we had stuff like that in the house. So a lot of my snacking literally was at friends' houses. I mean, like, that's not to say that there were things that we did have at the house from time to time that would, did go with playing games, but by and large, any snacking that I did was at my friend's house because their parents bought all that kind of stuff. Like I said, my dad, we didn't have that stuff in the house. It wasn't that we, some of it was, we didn't have a lot of money, but it just, my parents didn't see any real value in having it. So growing up, we didn't have a lot of potato chips. We didn't have sodas. Candy bars, cookies. The only time that we ever had cookies in the house was at one point when I was in 4th grade. My dad would pack my lunch, and I still remember there was this grocery store called Bell's, and they had like bulk cookies you could buy. Like you put them into a bag, and there were all sorts of different, like, some of them were like like Danish butter cookies and like these cheap ass chocolate chip cookies. And I would get like 2 of those in my lunch, my sack lunch for going to school. So they were also off limits. Like, it was one of those, like, you didn't come home and eat those cookies because they weren't for home. It was for school. There for a while, my dad did also. He was buying, like, he'd buy Little Debbie snack cakes and stuff. But like, once again, I didn't come home and would eat Little Debbie snack cakes. I wasn't allowed to. That was all for my lunch for school. So, actually, one of the things I do remember him buying, and I don't know if you guys like are familiar with these, or if you had them, like these duplex cookies. They're like a fucking like knockoff generic Oreo cookie, but even worse. Like, it's got like one half of it's chocolate, the other half is vanilla, and it's got that disgusting cream in the middle. It's like not even close to an Oreo cream. We would have those a lot. My dad would buy it because they were cheap. You buy a package of them, and pack was like a buck, and you get like 30 cookies. 5 of them in a little sandwich baggie for me to take to school, and that would be like a week or 2 weeks worth of lunches. So anyways, I was Sean, I was going to type out like my top 5 or whatever, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do a video. It's easier. So I actually went to the grocery store today because I had to pick up a few things. And I did seek out some of the stuff that I remember as a kid eating when I was gaming. Now, it's not really necessarily like there were things that I was looking for, but I couldn't get because either Walmart just didn't have it like in our area, or maybe it's been discontinued. So this isn't in any real particular order, but it's kind of by maybe like least favorite to favorite. But one kid that I've talked about maybe a little bit that I gamed with, his name was Mark Rothfuss. I remember, I think, mentioning him in one of my videos about Super Mario Brothers 3, because he had Super Mario Brothers 3, and I remember the one little anecdote I shared where like we would play it all the time at his house, and then there was this little like grocery store up the road from where he lived, and they had a Play Choice 10, and then we would go and pump quarters in and play Super Mario 3 on the Play Choice 10. Why? We could have just, I don't know, there's something about playing it on like, oh, it's in an arcade. But anyways, Mark's parents bought a lot of weird shit for munching on. So when we would get hungry, he would always have, most kids like Doritos stuff. He had Munchos, and these were like, I grew to really like these actually because of being at Mark's house. Yeah, like not a potato chip, a potato crisp. I don't think legally they can call them chips. But yeah, man, so many good memories of eating these. And now the one thing that I looked for, it would always pair with this soda that his parents bought called Citrus Frost. Now, Citrus Frost, I think, was just the generic version of what many know as Fresca. And if you're not aware of Fresca, Fresca is a It sounds fancy, but it's not. It's more like it's a grapefruit flavored soda. Yeah, I remember the first time drinking it. He's like, "Oh, gross, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, give me more." So I looked for a can of Fresca just as like a reference, but Walmart did not have any Fresca. So that was a thing from Mark's house. One of the snack things, you know, we would get hungry and we would eat Munchos and drink citrus frost or Fresca, if you will. So one of my other all-time favorite, I guess you would call snacky type foods. So that was the Fresca and the Munchos. That's like 1 and 2, you know, like or 4, 5, and 4. So every Sunday after church, my dad and I would always go grocery shopping. Sometimes we would go to Wegmans, or other times we would go to P&C. It just kind of would depend on who was having the best deals. But I always liked it because he would get stuff to make for dinner, but I would always get lunch. He would always like I could pick something out to cook at home for lunch. And the reason for me it's gaming related is because obviously on a Sunday afternoon, what did you do after church and you come home and stuff? Did your chores? You gamed. That was the thing. So one of the things that I remember eating a shit ton of were these fucking Tina fake meat burritos. Like, I ate these red hot beef and bean, spicy beef and bean, and the regular beef and bean. I would get like 2 or 3 of these, and I would eat them all, like one sitting. Sometimes I'd have like one, and a little bit later I'd have another one. But these things were dirt ass cheap. I mean, and they still are. I mean, I think this was like still 36 cents at Walmart. You know, I mean, back then they were like 15 cents, and they tasted like a 15-cent burrito. But man, like I would fucking like just wolf these things down. They were so good. And I mean, you know, I don't eat a lot of this stuff today. I mean, God, this thing's like 340 calories, just this one little thing. I mean, so for me, somebody tries to watch what I eat, like this is a lot of calories and a lot of sodium and a lot of like unhealthy shit, but man, tastes good. Tastes good. So yeah, the Tina fake meat burritos. My buddy Mike, so like I've talked about him before. Well, his mom used to buy a lot. They had a lot of, she had a lot of junk food stuff at their place, because it was just him and his mom and stuff. Now, 2 of the things that I remember the most of at his place, number one, like, you gotta remember, this was back in the early 90s. It was like 1990, 1991. And it was like, I think there were 16-ounce glass bottles of Sprite. And that was all he drank, was Sprite. So that was one of the things, like, to wash down the Pizza Hut pizza. His mom always was ordering, like, every Thursday night was Pizza Hut night at his place. So like, they're on, you know, like during the summer months, if I ever went over on a Thursday night, she'd always come home with either, you know, like a large pan pizza, or if you guys remember the Bigfoot, that was the party pizza, 21 slices. So that was, we would do a lot of gaming and eat Pizza Hut pizza, and we would wash it down with Sprite. But before the pizza night, the one thing that I remember at Mike's house were the Totino's pizzas. Now, back then, they were in a square box, and it was Gino's. Like, it was Gino's pizzas. And his mom kept their freezer stocked, because at the time, I mean, like, these things were, it was like $1 for a pizza, sometimes like less than that, like 96 cents or something. But we'd be in a marathon of like watching The Legend of Zelda. And I mean, I say watching, like, he recorded all the Super Mario Brothers Super shows, and we would binge watch, because he didn't record all the shows, he recorded all the Zeldas. And we would binge watch all the Zeldas and just freaking munch down on Gino's pizzas. And I mean, these are essentially the same thing. I think that at some point they just switched from Gino's to Totino's. But we would eat these, or there was another pizza joint in Waterloo called Palermo's that his mom would order from too. Or like, so there'd be like leftover Palermo's pizza and Gino's pizza, and we would just like eat and watch Zelda and play video games, and it was just like an awesome time, and it was just fantastic memories that I have. So there in large are 3 visual references, and then 2 or 3 memory references of the snacky foods that I would eat when I was gaming. So Sean, thank you for actually kind of giving me the opportunity to kind of do a response to this, even though I really hadn't originally planned on it. I thought it would be easier, it'd be better, and it would look probably a lot nicer. So Sean, horns up, metal horns up to you. Thank you for that. So now real quick, guys, I do want to say this, all right? And this is not addressed to my usual viewers. This is addressed to, perhaps other people that have come along. Look, if you like my content, sub to me. That's fantastic. If you like it, smash that like button, leave a comment, do whatever. Do not, under any circumstances, please, if you want to sub to my channel because you like my content, sub to my channel because you like my content. Do not sub to my channel and then leave me a fucking message, oh, sub to me. I'm sorry, I don't do sub for subs. That's not how this works, okay? I'll be more than happy to check out your videos, and if I like your content, I might subscribe. But the sub for sub bullshit, come on, let's knock this off. It's fucking retarded. Stop it. It is. It's really stupid. I would rather have a channel that has 200 subs and 20 dedicated followers, 20 people who are dedicated to watching my content, commenting, than have a channel that's got 50,000 subs and fucking nobody watches my stuff. So, I mean, is that what people, is that what you're going for? Is that the look that you want? You just want to go pander and try to get more subs. For what reason? It doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. We're, people like myself and Ron Man and Good Vibe and Retro Reminiscence and, NES Addict, people like us, Retro Death. We're trying to create a community. It's not just about making videos and getting subs and getting likes and getting comments. It's about making friendships, okay? So, I'm not here just to get fucking subs. I mean, I don't need somebody to stroke my ego, So, but that being said, hey, have a nice day with that. So, anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, bam, make sure to like the damn video. And I will catch you guys on the next one. So, later.